Coach, how nice was it to have a couple of days off after kind of a crazy couple of months with the guys? And now that they're back, do you sense that they have a little bit extra, pep in their step because they did get a little time off?
I think it was great. I know selfishly, I really enjoyed the family time and taking a few days away to refocus and recharge as we enter 2021 here. I think it was great that our players got to go spend time with their families. They haven't had the opportunity to do that since we started back to school in early August. So I think it was great for everybody. Guys came back. They've worked extremely hard on the practice court, and we're looking forward to this 9-week journey here of 2 games a week in league play.
When was your first day back after holidays?
We did some individual work on the 26th and then started back to practice yesterday.
Okay. And I know normally this time of year is kind of, we're hitting that kind of halfway point of the season, going from non-conference to conference play. Obviously, that's not the case this year because you have a small sample size. But looking at your team now that you are heading into the bulk of your conference schedule, what have you seen that you really like about this team, and what are kind of the red flags that you feel like needs to be worked on the most?
Sure, I agree with you, Adam. It is a smaller sample size, especially not having the exhibition or scrimmages. So we had the couple non-1 games. We played a couple league games. I really like our team. I like the pieces that we have. I think we have great personnel at every position. I think we have the potential to have a team that's very balanced inside and outside. I think as far as red flags, it's early, but I think there's some clear things that we have to clean up as a team if we want to have a chance to be in the OVC race. We've made way too many unforced turnovers on our offensive end of the floor that has really hurt our offensive efficiency. And then just overall, our consistency. You look at how well we played in the games at home against Austin Peay and Illinois State, but we haven't been able to carry that level of play on the road against good teams. And that's something, if we want to be in the race again, those are some things we'll have to get corrected and done so very quickly.
You talked about the road versus the home versus road. With there not being crowds or really the big travel that you've had to have in the past, I mean, you're taking bus rides to Carbondale or to Clarksville, and I guess Murfreesboro being the longest. Is there a correlation between why this team is playing different at home versus the road?
It's a great question, Adam, and I don't have the answer. I think there's obviously a clear difference in our level of play at home versus on the road. But I think a lot of that just ends up being over-analysis. I mean, it's basketball. Yeah, it's like Gene Hackman and Hoosiers. The goal's still 10 feet high. The court's 94 by 50. Whether there's 10 people in the crowd or 10,000, the game is the same. So it's just something I think we need to see some success on the road. And if we don't, the OVC gave us 6 out of 7 on the road here. So we're going to be in a world of hurt if we don't figure out a way to play better in other people's arena.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about that way, that 6 out of 7 on the road to start the season. And then not only that, you get, Austin Peay, and then now Belmont to start the OVC schedule. And I know that's probably as challenging as any schedule anybody in the OVC is going to have to start. How much does that test and challenge this team when it's, you got to grow up in a hurry and learn in a hurry?
Well, you have to play the games at some point in the schedule. Whether I'd like personally as a league, I'd like to see more home road balance, not just for us, but for all teams. But regardless of that, you got to play the games. And so I guess it Depends what day you ask me. If you would have asked me after we beat Austin Peay by 30 at home, I'd say this was great. But then, to lose at third place on the road, now we're sitting at 1-1, going to play a really good Belmont team on Wednesday. We've got to grow up and really come together as a team, and do so in a hurry, because we understand the value of every game in league play. We know Belmont has a very, very good team, and we'll have to be ready to go on Wednesday night. But I'm excited about it, Adam. I mean, I wish we were sitting here talking at 7-0 and everything was perfect, of course. But I enjoy that part of coaching, finding ways to build your team, overcoming some adversity, staying committed to consistently getting better and improving every day. And so my excitement for our team hadn't changed one bit. I'm really looking forward to the opportunity we have coming up these 9 weeks, and I'm going to really enjoy coaching this team.
Before I ask you a couple questions about Belmont, when you talked about the unforced turnovers, I know it's kind of been a theme we've talked about a lot over the last couple of weeks.
Unfortunately.
Statistically, like you said, you're one of the worst in the nation as far as turnovers per game. But is that something that you can go to practice and work on, or is that something that it's the players themselves have to take it upon themselves to figure out how to fix that?
Well, I think it's a combination of both, Adam. You're always going to turn the ball over some, and we've always been average to above average and fewest turnovers and things like that. So I'm disappointed with where we're at there. But I think when you look at teams that are turning the ball over excessively, as we are, you either got really bad players or you're not coached well enough. And I think we have really good players. So the answer to me is we're not coached well enough right now. So we've got to spend time and like we do every day, staying committed to those fundamentals. I think I talked about it last week. The interesting thing about our turnovers, we're one of the top in the country in fewest steals allowed, but we're at the bottom of the country in non-steal turnovers, illegal screens, charges, throwing the ball out of bounds. So those are some fundamental parts of the game that as a coaching staff, we have to work hard to improve upon for our players. And, I hope to see some progress there now that we've had some time on the practice court to get better.
Going to Belmont, you're playing them on Wednesday at their place. Obviously, lost a big piece in Kunkel from last year, but they still got Musinski and a couple of those other guys, and they seem like they haven't really skipped a beat. When you look at them and watch their game tape, what's the biggest thing that jumps out about Belmont this year?
Really good team. I think it's similar to last year's team. Everyone always talks about Belmont's offense and Musinski inside and their three-point shooting. And those things are obviously very important to the game. But I think they're well coached and very well disciplined at the defensive end of the floor. They force you to take bad, low percentage shots. So I think our offensive execution will be critical to the game. I don't know they lost Kunkel, but they replaced him with Luke Smith, who was a transfer sitting out last year. He's one of the top three-point shooters in the country right now, making almost 4 a game at a very high clip. They've got great contribution from their freshman guard, Jacoby Wood, who's been terrific off ball screens and driving the ball to the basket. So I think they have very good balance, not only inside, outside, but offensively and defensively.
The last question for you is that, we've asked this about Austin Peay, and when you're playing them, it's normally, the must-see game as far as OBC schedules. And now, you versus Belmont, it's the same deal. Obviously, it's different, fans, not the same atmosphere and everything. But for you guys, do you still view this as, a marquee game on your schedule? I know you're going to probably give me the coach speak like you normally do and say it's just the next game on our schedule and every game's the same. But, it is still Belmont. It is still two of the better teams in the OBC over the last decade.
I don't think it's coach speak, Adam, just to say that, we view every game as an opportunity of a lifetime. I really do. I say it all the time. I still can't believe I get to coach here at Murray State. I still can't believe I get to coach all these great players that we have on our team. and get to go about the process of trying to improve and build our team into a championship contender. So anytime you get a chance to play this game, whether it's in front of fans, whether it's on ESPNU as it is on Wednesday night, or if it's on your local cable station, it's an opportunity of a lifetime. And as a coach and for our players, I want to treat it as such. With all that being said, there's no question that the games between Belmont and Murray State in recent years have been played at a very high level, both teams. They've been some instant classic games. We have great respect for them and their program. But for us, quite frankly, where we're at right now as a team, our focus has to be on getting Murray State better. We have to get a lot better as a team. And that's where our focus has been this week and where it's going to continue to be in the weeks ahead.